So look, I know you're thinking here as you end this, you're like, okay, he thinks he can do it, but you don't know if you can do it. You might also be thinking, this is impossible. Nobody can do $1 million business in 90 days. And you're thinking right now, possibly, because I know how you think. I gotta know how you think. I'm in your head. You're thinking right now, okay, even if he could, you can't, okay? I'm gonna tell you something, it's all bullshit. You can do this, number one. You should do this. And number three, if you should, you must. You must do this. Money is vital. Money is important. The things I did successfully on Undercover Billionaires, Lewis Curtis, with no name, no credit card, no money, no social media, no fame, no connections. I didn't know the community. I was terrified every day. I was hungry, okay? That happened. It's real. I proved it. The number one question people ask me today is, if you had nothing, what would you do? And I said, hey, watch Undercover Billionaire. I don't need to tell you what I did. Just watch it and you're going to see. And I want to take a few minutes just to share with you exactly what I learned from that experience and what you can take away from that experience that I validated in a real life experiment, in a real laboratory, if you will. I went from no one to building $1 million business. Now look, I understand, by the way, it was a $5.5 million business. This is what I built. $5.5 million by an independent evaluator with $1.7 million worth of real estate, totaling $7.2 million business. I did that in 84 days, plus, in case you didn't pay attention, the night of the celebration on the 90th day, I sold another $300,000 worth of contracts. $300,000, which would be worth today, based on his evaluation, another $1.5 million worth of business. So I would have done almost my target. 1.5 is 8.7. My target when I went there was a $10 million business, knowing I would come up short. Didn't surprise me that I came up short. I've been coming up short my entire life. So if you think that I think I'm the smartest guy in the room, wrong. I am not the smartest guy. If you think I know it all, wrong. How I got to where I'm at is with the exact strategies, the plan that I'm giving you. Take time out of the equation and think big. It costs you nothing. If you come up short, what do you lose? Nothing. Your life can only improve and get better because of this. So I want to take a few moments just to wrap up what I learned from this real life laboratory, this experiment with Discovery, watching me, following me around, documenting. Just to give you a background on this story, what happened was Discovery TV came to me and said, hey, we think you'd be perfect for this show we did called Undercover Billionaire. You basically get dropped off in a city, you have no money, $100, an old truck. We're going to give you a new phone, take away your old phone. You can't call your friends, your family, your connections. You can't use your credit cards. And can you build $1 million business? I said, yeah, I can do that. I can build a $10 million business and I'll do it in under 90 days. If I do it in 60, can we pull it? They're like, you being serious? I said, I'm going to do this in under 90 days. COVID had not happened yet. 40 million people had not been unemployed yet. I'll do it in under 90 days. I'll do $10 million. Let's go. Okay, and literally 6 weeks later, I got dropped off in Pueblo, did not know where I was going, and I was off to the start, okay? We built a business worth almost $9 million. Almost $9 million, regardless of what they tell you. I know what that business is worth. I was with the partner today, okay? In under 90 days, 84 days to be exact, okay? The only thing I dropped the ball on, and in all fairness to everyone, is I didn't bring my family out. That wasn't fair, because you have to deal with your family every day. You do not have the option to let your family go for 90 days, okay? I did, because my other businesses were funding my children. I know, and my wife. I know that you don't have that option, so we got to add that into what I learned. Also, the cameras, okay? Because some of you are like, you had the cameras with you, they helped. The cameras helped in some situations, and they hurt in others. They helped with Matt Smith. Not in the beginning, but later they did. They also hurt me because I lost, okay? I lost a $10 million real estate deal that I would have been able to get had it not been for the cameras. Now, all that being said, I'm sharing all that with you to say this. You can do this, and if you can do it, you must do it, and if you must do it, you must do it. Because this is the chance to change everything for your community, okay? This is what I learned from Undercover Billionaire, shooting it, that I did not know before I went in. I thought it was true, but I did not know for sure, okay? Number one, most important thing, you got to make a decision. Now, I've always said this in my life, oh, you got to make a decision. Everything starts with a decision. Decision's got to be firm. Nothing happens without your personal decision, and you won't stay with it if your decision to do something is not big enough. So number one, it's got to be a decision, and two, it's got to be big enough to significantly change something for you in your life, okay? People ask me all the time, why'd you do that show? That was stupid. That was ridiculous. You can ask other people what they think about your decision, but the truth is you, only you, not your wife, the kids, the husband, your parents. Nobody knows why you're doing something other than you. Once I made the decision to go spend 90 days on this stupid challenge, I didn't need the challenge. We got 7 companies here. They'll do $150 million this year. We make $12 million a month. Plus the real estate. We're going to close this month. We'll close 25, 75, and 192, whatever that number is, $192 million worth of real estate this month while I shoot this, okay? It was stupid of me because I'm going to zero to prove to you I can build $1 million business, okay? So when I go there, okay, I got to make a decision, and I need that decision for me to be big enough. When Discovery asked me to do this, they asked me 2 questions. Can you do it? Number 2, more importantly, because number 1 was, yeah, I can do it. Number 2 was, would you do it? And that was the difficult part for me. I'm talking about decisions right now. How do you make a decision and continue to? See, I believe the reason I did this show was I believed, one, that I could do it in 90 days, but I was less sure about if I should do it. You understand the difference? Look, I'm 62 years old when I did this show. Time is the most valuable commodity I have. My little kids, like your kids, are growing up. Maybe yours are already grown up. You can look back to when they were growing up and you missed that time. And I hear it every day from other parents. Man, they're growing up fast. Don't let it go, okay? This was 90 days of my life I could never get back, and I didn't need to do this. I already had my money. Also, if I don't pull this off, my brand was at risk. Either way, my time would be gone forever. And if I didn't make the goal of the $1 million, some would say that 10X is bullshit. The Grant Cardone's all talk and no, what is it called? All talk and no walk, whatever. Okay? If it doesn't work, people could see my strategies as not real. Okay? That the American dream is not real and the 10X thing is not real. So I had to ask myself, hey Grant, why would you risk, at this time in your life, why would you risk the time, the 90 days, and your brand? Well, there was 4 major reasons I took the challenge on. Number 1, if I pulled this off, I knew that it would explode my personal confidence. This is really important for you to know. I'm telling you why you need to do this challenge right now, why you need to go from 0 to 9. Because if you do this, I told myself, dude, I'll be unstoppable in the future. If you could pull this off, you too would become unstoppable. Number 2 thing I asked myself or told myself, I've always wanted to show people, not just teach them in a classroom. We have a classroom here in Miami. It's filled almost every week with people coming in to learn from us in marketing and sales and scaling. But I always wanted to show people, not teach them. And this show, this opportunity, Undercover Billionaire, this 90-day challenge allowed me that option. 3rd thing, I knew that if I pulled it off, I would put a stake in the heart, and this is a huge motivation for me. It's part of what I was talking about, the team. The haters and the naysayers, the bitches, the complainers, the people that say Grant Cardone is this or that, I knew I would put a stake in their heart and even convert some people that once talked poorly about me. And I knew it would be a boom to my business. I knew, man, if I could pull this off, dude, I'm gonna have people call me here saying, hey, you the real deal, dog, okay? Remember, the goal was 1 million. I told Discovery, make it 10. 90 days, I don't need it. Keep you $100. Total swag. I'm flex of the universe. And then I did it. Number 4 thing I knew was this. The success of this show would further fortify to my wife and my children. This is really important for everybody to hear. That Grant Cardone, their husband, her husband, and their father, their papa, is truly capable of anything. If you watch the show, you watch me get really emotional about my family. You know, I think if my father and my mom were here and they're not, you know, my family, my kids and my wife are the people, literally the little bit of family I have left. And if I could show this, prove this, not come to work every day and do real estate deals, not do 34,000 person events. I've done all that stuff. This, I knew. If the whole world, by the way, Discovery's seen in 19 countries, Australia, India, the UK, all across the US, Canada, like it's a worldwide program. I knew that this would further fortify, not that they need it, but maybe I needed it, that Papa and her husband, Elena's husband, was truly capable of anything. And I truly believed, had any one of these 4 things been missing, I would not have taken on this mission. It took all four of these whys to convince me to take on this ridiculous challenge. And it took all 4 to keep me from quitting once I started. And despite that, I still considered quitting almost every single day for 84 days. Look, you can make a decision. First thing you'll have to do for you to pull this off, you will have to make a decision. This is what I learned from the show. But you better fortify that decision with your whys. More than one why. It's one why. For me, it's not one why. It's never the money. But money always has something to do with what I'm doing. It's never just the money. It's all, and the haters, it can't just be the haters, right? And it can't just be, oh, it's going to boom my business and make it better. And it can't just be help. It's probably got to be more than one thing. For 90 days, I wanted to quit this challenge, okay? Maybe 84 to 90 days. The last 6 were like, okay, I got this. The thing that kept me going, though, was the whys. People in Pueblo were phenomenal, great, phenomenal people, okay? The idea that we built a new business called 10X Marketing and Sales, great. But it was the 4 whys that kept me going. So figure out your 4 whys, okay? 2, study others who have done what you were doing, okay? If you're going to do this $1 million challenge, or you're going to go into technology, or you're going to go mine Bitcoin, whatever you're going to do, you need to study what others have done. And that's what I did on Undercover Billionaire. There's an old Buddhist saying that an idiot can learn from his own mistakes. A wise man or woman learns from the mistakes of others. So the first thing I did when I was doing this show was I learned from Glenn Stern's mistakes. Okay, I don't learn from other people's successes first. First thing I did was like, hey, what mistakes did what, at least in my mind, and Glenn wouldn't say it's a mistake, maybe he would. Glenn's a good friend of mine, by the way. I got mad, unbelievable respect for that guy. I was with him this past weekend. Phenomenal human being, okay? Completely different than me and did it different than me. But I learned from the mistakes I saw Glenn make so that it would quick start, what's it called? Jump start. It would leapfrog. When I watched Glenn sleep in a truck, I'm like, I don't want to sleep in a truck. Where would I go other than a truck? Now, I didn't know where I was going to go, but anywhere you go on planet Earth, there is in most places on planet Earth significant numbers of empty beds. I even told Discovery this, where are you going to sleep? I ain't worried about a bed, dog. There's plenty of beds in America. Most of them, by the way, which are empty. Okay? So when I called Glenn, and I called him before the show, I was hoping he would share with me what I should not do. Glenn, what mistakes did you make? I didn't ask him what he did right. What, Glenn, would you not do again? And this is what I'm sharing with you in this course. Don't go it alone. I'm telling you what to do. Don't go and say, I need some money. Asking for money is a mistake when you're trying to go from 0 to $1 million, because $10 doesn't get you there. You understand? So I called Glenn. Hey, what would you not do, Glenn? Okay, he shared with me the mistakes he made. But I also studied the show in case there was things that he did maybe that he wasn't aware of. Because look, let's face it. He went from 0 to 750,000. Hats off to you. He might think what he did actually worked. Why? Because he survived it. This is really, really important for you to know. When you talk to successful people, they might see their mistakes as actually success when they weren't, because they actually hit their target or got really close. They might actually incorrectly say, oh yeah, sleeping in my truck actually got me where I was going. But the truth is, He didn't need to sleep in his truck. I proved that, okay? Managing $100. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, wow. When I saw the clock, $100, $80, $63. When I saw the clock, I'm like, he's managing money. And I immediately had this like, aha, like, oh my God, I don't want to be a manager. I want to be a millionaire in 90 days. Managers don't make $1 million in 90 days. No manager on the planet does that, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't want to go there. I don't want to manage my money. I'm going to get rid of it. That's how I came up with that concept. If I get rid of it, I don't have to manage it. I didn't sleep in a truck, okay? He was selling other people's stuff. He was spending 2 and 3 days looking for tires and stuff to sell. I'm not going to do that. So those 3 things gave me an advantage. He flipped a home that cost him a couple of weeks, and he said in interviews that was a major mistake that almost set him back. And the 5th thing he did was he started a restaurant. Come on. Thank God I didn't start a damn restaurant, because 10 days after I was there, COVID hit and shut down every damn restaurant in America, or almost every restaurant, okay? Now, you got to remember, I got started on this insane challenge before COVID hit. I was there 10 days, COVID hit, shut down restaurants, churches, stadiums. 40 million people were unemployed. So, you got it, okay? Learn from the mistakes of others. Study others that have done. Don't study everybody, study one person. That's what I did, and that's what I suggest you do. And I'm giving you the guy you should study. You're looking at him right now, okay? Third, you need to get crystal clear on the mission. Mission crystal clear. Most people are clear on what it is the mission is, or not clear on what the mission is, and they get lost, okay? They're not sure, what is the mission? What am I doing? I'm trying to be famous. I want a TV show. I didn't want a TV show. I did want a TV show, but that's not the goal. The goal was to hit the freaking target. Once I got the show, okay, I got the show, closed the deal. Now I want the $10 million. Once you get the show, 2 other people had the show, okay? I'm the one that ended up with a business. I had Discovery clarify to me multiple times. What is the mission again? Tell me, what is the mission again? What is the mission again? $1 million. Good, okay? I would later use this against them. You don't see it in the show. $1 million in 90 days. Great. I can't use any money, right? Good. Can't use my contacts, right? Good, 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 okay? And then my mission was to get the $1 million and crush it. And I did, okay? Once you get clear on exactly what the mission is and what you will be measured for in your partnerships with your customers, strategize exactly what would accomplish and or exceed that target. The mission was to build a business. It wasn't to start a new business, okay? That's why I didn't try to start a new business. I didn't need to go to the Small Business Association. We just did that for TV because they like that bullshit play on TV. Oh, go to the Small Business Administration. I'm like, I don't need to. Well, why don't you need to? Only reason I need to go there is to meet somebody. But I'm not going to be an SBA loan. Why not? How do you know that? Because I'm not going to start a new business. That's what Glenn did. Starting something new takes time. They're like, oh my God, this is so complicated. No, what he did was complicated. What I do is simple. I'm going to tag on to something that's already working. Don't you understand? I don't want to go to the SBA and spend time on a computer finding out what's wanted and needed. Shit, I already know what's wanted and needed. $10 million business in 90 days. That's what I want and that's what I need. Okay? All right? See? And how do I do that in 90 days? Write the mission down. If you're going to take this challenge, if you think you got what it takes to go from 0 to $1 million, and I'm going to put you on stage in front of 55,000 people, write that mission down and then write it down where you can see it, and then keep the main thing, and keep it the only thing. Completely focused on nothing else. Maniac, obsessed. When you watch the show, you're going to see me reinforcing this mission every day. I had it written on the windshield of the car. I had it written on the bathroom window of the RV. When I went to the room, I wrote it, $10 million business. When Discovery wanted me to make TV, they'd be like, oh, we got to make a TV, we got to do this, and we got to do that, and that's going to look cool, and that's going to make you look bad. I'm like, hey, screw you guys. I'm here for one mission. You didn't say I need to make good TV. You didn't say I need to be likable. You said the mission was a $1 million business in 90 days. Okay? I'm going to hit 10 million. We're going to make some great TV. Now, all that might sound arrogant and selfish and greedy. Well, good. Thank you very much for clarifying the mission. Okay? The mission is $10 million in 90 days. It is not to be the nicest guy in the world. Okay, the fourth thing you need to do, and you guys got to clarify what your mission is. Look, get this 90 days wrapped up. Put $1 million on the books. I wish I had $1 million to show you right now. It weighs 53 pounds. Put that on the book, and then you can go back to being Mr. Nice Person of the universe. The most likable human being on the planet, but let's get you the badge. Let me put you on the stage, okay? So look, you got to get everybody on the same page. Nothing is more important than getting everybody in your life on the same page, whether they're rolling with you on this program or not. Like everybody's trying to get their department on the same page. You need to get everybody in your bedroom on the same page. You need to get everybody in your head on the same page. You need to get those little freaking freeloaders at your house on the same page. If you don't get your house in order, how the hell are you going to get your life in order? If you don't get the house in order, so the people in your life are supporting you fully for 90 days, not one of my kids says, "Oh, I'm missing you so much, Baba." Not one time did my wife say, "I need you home, we got problems." Not one time did anyone ask me for anything, except you got our support. Stay there, be there, kill it, crush it. I mean, they were so supportive, it actually pissed me off. Like, I'm like, "Please, can somebody please miss me?" No, Papa, stay there and do it. I'm like, shit, they don't even miss me. Okay, they were supporting me because their support strengthened my commitment to the mission. When I wanted to quit, my wife would not let me. When I wanted to quit, my kids actually said, "We need you to do this for the team." You got to get your team on the same page, okay? All in, every day, all the time. And that is not something that happens one time, by the way. That needs to happen 90 times in 90 days. Make sure, because they will fall apart, as you will. Just like you need to reinforce your decision and commitment, you need to reinforce, and they need to reinforce their decision and their commitment, okay? Number 5, once you do this, you got to show up. It's showtime, baby. Showtime. And showtime cannot happen if you don't show up. And great things never happen to those who never show up. And everyone who shows up has to meet the demons, the doubts, the fears, the terrors, the lostness, the disappointment, discouragement, the rejection, baby. That's all part of the game. Show up and be willing to have the experience of life. It's a bitch. It's ugly. It hurts. Okay? It feels bad half the time, man. This is not like flowers and unicorns. This is tough, man. Life is tough, and you got to keep showing up, keep saying, "I'm here again." Okay? I got my face punched in, my nose is broken, my back hurts, I'm cold, fucking want to quit, I hate this. See, what you guys don't know is I hated every single day I did that show, every single day, and you cannot see it on my face one time. Because when you show up, you got to show up. And you got to show up and face the demons and the doubts and the fears and the discouragements. You got to put a smile on your face. It's showtime. And you got to do that every single day. And just remember, you need a payoff that's big enough so you're like, okay, why am I doing this? Because damn, dude, if I pull this shit off, remember the 4 whys I had? That's why I'm telling you, 1 why will not do it because the pain will be like relentless. You need a lot of whys to keep you in the house. Showing up is not just about that first day or that one appointment. It's showing up and then showing up. Okay, I get in the room and then I got to get in the room. You understand? I can't just show up for work. I got to show up for work and I got to show up. If you're in doubt, if your eyes are bleeding, if your insides are hurting, your heart is aching, okay, and fear is enormous, show up. Showing up is different than deciding, committing, planning, learning, studying. Showing up is where badasses become badasses, okay? And you need to become a badass. And a badass always shows up. And courage happens when you're scared. It doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Home is where plans are made. The marketplace is where plans are achieved and goals are hit. The fear is going to hit you with a ton of bricks, I promise you. If you ain't been showing up in your life, and I bet you hadn't been, not to the full potential, when you start showing up, you will experience fear. You will not know what to do. You will get tongue-tied. You will get sweaty palms. You will be freaking terrified. You will want to take a shit right when you need to do a meeting. Once you show up all the way, I guarantee you, your body will start overreacting. You'll be excited and scared. You'll be terrified. I was every one of those things. You don't see it unless you know me. My wife could see it. She's like, hey, when you asked Matt for the $10,000, she said as soon as she saw it, you were surprised he gave it to you. I said, shit, I was freaking shocked. I was shocked. Why were you shocked? Because I was shocked I said 10,000. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I was going to say 1,000. And then I said 10,000. And he says, okay. And I was like, fuck. I can't believe that shit. And I'm going to tell you how I did that, because 10X was in my mind. I was going to ask for one. I literally told the production crew, what are you going to ask for? $1,000. And last minute, I'm like, bang, hit him with 10. And yes, he said yes. And it freaked me out. And my wife could see it on my face. Okay? Look, I was lost every day because I couldn't use my name. I couldn't bank on my success. For 35 years, I've been telling people how great I am, and I couldn't tell people any of that. So you're going to have your own lostness. You understand? Maybe you're in a new city, new product, new service, new pitch. And you cannot work this pitch you got to figure out in the boardroom or in your head or on a piece of paper. You have to work it out in front of people, and it's going to be scary. You'll see me do exactly those things as a result of showing up for 90 days. Pitching. Show up and pitch. Show up and pitch. Or you know what they say. You either show up and pitch or stay home and it rhymes. Okay, 6. Go to 0 and keep going to 0. When taking on a mission, you need to get down to exactly what you will need to get focused on the mission, to finance and fund the mission, to fund your basic needs, and not carry a bunch of stuff with you. I got off that plane in Pueblo with one bag, a bottle of water, a bottle like this that was empty. Another thing I learned from Glenn, I'm like, why is that guy having to run around town buy bottles of water? I don't need a bottle of buy a bottle of water. I'm gonna get an empty thing of water and fill it up everywhere I go. I don't know why they didn't show that. I thought that was genius. $4 times 90 days, saved me about $360. Walk into a shop, every shop in America's got a little thing. Refill. Look, if you're gonna take on Mount Everest, you cannot bring everything with you on that trip. First thing they're going to do is go through your bag. You're getting on a submarine. They're not going to let you take everything with you. Okay? If you're going to go on a fishing trip, you're not going to take 54 poles with you. If you go golfing, you cannot take every club that you have at your house. You got to leave some stuff at your house. If you're going to walk the entire 18 holes, you should not bring one of those big bags. Bring a light bag with like 4 clubs in it. You're not good with the rest of them anyway. Strip down to only the things you need. So when I started my venture, I got rid of everything I didn't need. I had $100. The first thing I did was get rid of the 100. The reason I went straight to the bank, by the way, the money that you have is killing you. Okay? It's not just the stuff you have, it's the money you have. It's the security you think you have that's not true. The reason I dropped off that $100, Jared took it back from me, is so that I didn't need to worry about the $100. The reason I went straight to the bank, first thing, was I didn't want to have this false illusion that I was not broke when I was. Listen to what I'm telling you. The $100 that you have is no money. Get rid of it. It cannot save your ass. The $1,000 that you have in a savings account, it will not save your ass. It is not your future, it is your past. The 10 grand you got in the bank, and I'll go all the way to 100,000. The 100,000 that you have saved in the wall, or the 240, or whatever you got saved all over the planet at the IRA and the 401k and the ETF and the mutual fund, Fidelity and the Schwab people, and all this money you got spread all over the place that you think provides you with security is a complete lie. I have this saying, assets become liabilities. And your liabilities can become your assets if you learn how to convert things. See, by taking the $100 to the bank and giving it to the bank, I took what they thought was an asset that would fund my first 2 or 3 days and got rid of it because I knew it was a liability because it made me weak. It made me a manager, not a creator. Once I got rid of the 100, I was broke. It freed me. You understand? It freed me to say, oh, I need people. The solution now was not the 100. The solution was making contacts with people. Being broke, the so-called liability of being broke, the brokenness, actually became my asset because now I knew what I had to do, which was make contact for what? Shelter and then food and then business. My day-to-day survival now was no longer dependent upon me managing $100, but me managing how many contacts I could make. Remember, the goal was to grow $1 million business. It was not to manage $100. In fact, that $100, not one penny of it was ever spent the entire 90 days I was there. They gave me 100, I still have the 100. Money cannot solve the biggest problems you have. Only people can solve the biggest problems that you have. And I learned that from watching Glenn. Why is he managing money? This is a super, super successful, multi-billion-dollar enterprise this guy's got. And he's going from being a super entrepreneur to a manager of $100. Only because he agreed to use the $100. So I want you just to think about that today. How much money do you have sitting off in accounts that you think makes you safe when it doesn't? Number 7, thing that I learned from Undercover Billionaires, I started making contacts with people who could help me build what I wanted to build and get me off of zero. First day, I made 10 contacts. Within 10 days, I'd made 100. People think they need money when the truth is all they need is people. You need to make contacts, introverts and extroverts. Remember, your mission is to go collect $1 million business, build $1 million business, and you will never do that without people. Every business on planet Earth has one thing in common, and it's not money, it's people. The more customers you can get, the more valuable your business is. Many businesses in America and around the world actually lose money. Most governments lose money, okay? It's not money that you want, it's people that have money. That's why I didn't look for jobs. I didn't look to sell tires and flip cars, okay? How are you gonna build $1 million business in any period of time without people? It's never been done before, and it never will be done. Bitcoin is only valuable because there's people that think it is. Dogecoin, is it Dogecoin? Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever. It's because people are whacked. Some guy's like, hey, let's do this stupid thing. And people are like, let's do this stupid thing. Let's roll, okay? No person in the history of the world has ever made it alone. Your dreams, even your tiny dreams, cannot become a reality without other people. The first thing I did when I got to Pueblo was go straight to a gym. When I told Discovery I was going to a gym, they're like, oh, man, you that much into workouts? No, people are at gyms. They scratch their heads. Why would you go to a gym? People go to gyms, bruh. Okay? People go to zoos. By the way, y'all know that, right? You guys that would discover, y'all like that, the animal stuff. Who goes to a zoo? People do. Good. To see what? Animals? Good. Why am I there? To see the animals or see the people? I'm going to the zoo or to the gym to see the people. Because the last time I checked, the monkey is not going to exchange with me. But I went to the gym to meet the people that have the connections. I wanted to meet people in Pueblo who were interested in first improving themselves and that were easy to talk to. Hey, can you give me a spot, man? Please, okay? See, it was easy to start making connections. Yeah, man, what's your name? Mike. Thanks for the spot, man. I'm new to Pueblo. It gave me a way to talk to people. Number 8. Thing that I learned is the importance of prioritizing your targets. Keep the main thing until the main thing becomes the thing, and leave every other thing alone. While knowing the ultimate challenge was to build a $10 million business, in the beginning I needed to get momentums and wins and little victories. I knew I couldn't get to 10 million the first day, but I knew I could get little victories. I knew I couldn't create a $10 million business in 1 week, so I started looking for little things, the main things that became the main things that added to the main thing. If I could get little things I could attain daily that improved the quality of my life, the RV first, then the truck, then a little bit of money, then a contract, then a connection, that would put me in the direction of the main goal. The trick of being a great entrepreneur is to have priority intelligence, PI. Priority intelligence is to put things in the right order, okay? Annie came to me today and asked me about something in November. I'm like, hey, dude, leave me alone, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about November. Okay, I'm in May. You have to put things in order. Say no to what you don't have to deal with today and say yes to everything you must deal with today. Today I had to deal with this. I'm dealing with you today, okay? In hopes to give you the $1 million challenge. You have to be able to put things in the order of importance, leave everything else off to the side, knock off one thing at a time so you have one fewer problems tomorrow than you had today. When you don't have money, food, or water, or a place to live, you have to take on the major things first. You cannot build a business thirsty, hungry, and tired without a place to live. First thing for me to do was to get shelter. I got it. Then water, then food. By the way, I can live on water longer than I can live on food. The first most important thing was I need a place to sleep tonight. Second thing, I need some water, put it in my thing. Then I could worry about food. I got all three done the first night without spending a penny. Once I dropped my money off to the bank, went to the gym to meet people, then I got my shelter. That was the right order of things. Then it would be, who's got my food for tomorrow and next week? I cheated on the water, told you how I did it. Okay, I watched Glenn suffer. Stupid. His mistake, my intelligence. Hustling water. I brought the empty container. It's about empty again. Everywhere I went, I filled it up. Every time I walked into a place. You mind if I get some water? What do people see immediately? See, these are the little things people miss. What do they think? Oh, that dude's scraping. I can look good. Hey, you mind if I get some water? Every day I went someplace and got something. Anyone can learn from their own mistakes. Remember, a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. Watch other people's mistakes. When you're looking for mentoring, don't just look for what to do, look for what not to do. Ask these people that are successful around you when you get a chance. Dude, what are the mistakes you made? What would you not do again? Okay, number 9, when you get to the ask, once I secured a place to live, I started working the same person to figure out how I could solve my other problems. I say this all the time. Nobody gave you their last X. Once Ryan Zabukovic gave me one day, I said, hey, Ryan, any chance we can make it 3 days or a week? You can go back and watch the clip. He's like, yeah, man, we'll work it out. See, I didn't want to have to renegotiate tomorrow for what I needed today and I would need again tomorrow. So once somebody gives you something once, you always go back to that person because they've never given you their last yes or their last money. When you watch the show, you're going to see me negotiating agreements throughout the show that solve problems, not just today, but going forward into the future, not just the immediate problems. Because if I solve a problem today, it doesn't mean the same thing doesn't pop up again tomorrow. I do not want the same problems over and over again. How are you going to get from 0 to 1,000,000 if you're dealing with the same bullshit problems over and over and over again? You need new problems, not old ones. So rather than getting a place for one night, I secured 3 days, then I got another week. Then I got it second week. Same with food. Rather than asking for money for one meal, man, you think you could front me for 10? Dude, why don't you put a tab on me down the street? I'm a good guy. I'll hit you back once I get all handled here in town. I didn't even have to ask him for the money. He put 100 on the tab. See what I'm saying? Like, just front me. Don't give me. I don't want your money. I want a front. Give me a hand up, not a handout. The last thing. Money and business is about math. I'm not good at math. No, you're not good at algebra and trigonometry. Okay? But you need to learn this part of math. Adding, subtracting, and mostly multiplying. To hit any financial target, you will have to do math. Whether you're selling apparel, coaching classes, education, massage, whatever it is you're doing, plumbing, services, products, whatever, there's a million ways to $1 million. If 1 million people can pay you $1, that's $1 million business. If 10 companies give me 100 grand, listen to this. 10 companies give me 100 grand. By the way, it's probably easier to get 10 companies to give me 100 grand than it is to get 1 million people to give me $1. You're like, oh no, that wouldn't be easier. Yeah, it would, because it's going to be a hard freaking road for you to climb to even get 1 million people to pay attention to you. See, you got to depict which path you want by doing math. And the mistake, one of the great mistakes people are making, is they're finding the thing they want to do without figuring out the math of how it'll get funded. Simple business plan. 1 million people give you $1, that's $1 million. 100,000 people give you $10, that's $1 million. 10,000 people give you $100, that's $1 million. 10,000 people give you $1,000, that's $1 million, okay? Do the math. I hope you enjoyed this course. Let me know if you're up for the challenge. Let me know if you're ready to take it. There's nothing wrong with repeating this course, by the way. There's a lot to learn here. 35 years I've been playing the game. $1 million challenge. I dare you. $1 million challenge. Hashtag me. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn, or to Facebook. You hit me anywhere on YouTube. If you're up for the $1 Million Challenge, hashtag $1 Million Challenge, I'm up for it, and I'll put you on stage in front of 55,000 people. I dare you. Figure out. Use this information to build your $1 million business. There's already people doing this challenge right now, okay? Use this information, build your $1 million business, document it, do it from 0 to $1 million under 90 days. Use this information, and I'll put you on stage in front of 55,000 people. Do it, and your kids and your family members are going to be proud of you. Do it. People will talk about you forever. Do it, and it'll give you the confidence and the courage to do anything. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Be great. 10x everything, and I hope you make it.